got nothing but the time. Let Bama play.
Give me Alabama to break.
It's when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game. It's our turn. And there's a bunch of guys trying to take it from us. So that makes the shit personal.
Yes, sir.
Saturday night talking Bama, baby. JT in the house. We got JB right here, but tell him what's up tonight, bro.
It's your boy JB, man, the man of the people, and you are watching Talk'n Bama Saturday Night Live, only on the Bama Standard Network. And we got a special co-host tonight, my man Marshall to the left of me. What's going on, Marshall? Tell the people who you are.
My name is Marshall, guys. Really excited to be here. Happy for the opportunity. And it's just awesome to get to do this with these guys. They're really coming up, and it's fantastic to be here.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. JT.
Tonight, who we got, baby? I want you to introduce them tonight, JB. Who we got tonight, baby?
Man, this is going to be a great show tonight. We got two special guests tonight. And if y'all watch the Bama Standard, as I know you do, you know these people. First, we going to bring up number 4-5, the All-SEC linebacker, 1999, Mr. Marvin Constant.
What's good, fellas? Thank you for having me.
What's going on, man? It's been a long time coming, Marv.
I'm here, baby. I'm here.
We got you on a Saturday night, man. Can't get no better than that.
Listen, man, I'm telling you like this. I'll say it like this. We count them down, baby. We almost got all the Saturday nights in the book till it's time for action, baby.
Ooh, what we got? We got what? 8 more? 8 more Saturdays?
About that. Oh, I can't wait. Ooh.
Y'all better be ready, man. Shouts out to the chat too, man. We got Mar. Y'all show Mar some love tonight. We got another guest as well. I'm gonna bring him up. This is third week in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Bring him up to the stage, Mr. Stephen M. Smith.
Man, I'm happy to be here, man. It's a Saturday. We talking Bama. We got Uncle Marvin here. Like we mentioned, guys, we are so close to the season. We are right there. We are so close. But as we getting close, you know, DeBoer is doing his thing in recruiting to keep our taste buds right before the season pop in here.
Man. Hey, we gonna pick your brain tonight, try to get a little information like we always do from you tonight, man. So
I'm ready, man. I'm right here.
All right. Don't be hey, you already know what to do tonight. You know what to do. We'll get JT back in here in a minute. So shouts out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we gonna get this show rolling. First things first, the sponsors. Make sure we get these sponsors going real quick. Hold on. Let's get this thing going. Workspace Solutions. Make sure you go to workspacepros.com for all your marketing needs and tie in with them. Y'all know on all the shows, Workspace Solutions is the reason for the shows on the Bama Standard Network, and they sponsor all the shows. Also, you know the football season truly never ends. So make sure you get you a title towel. And I keep mine on me at all times. Title towel. Go to whitwillsports.com. Go to get your promo code standard. You get you a nice little discount courtesy of your favorite Bama network, the Bama Standard, and Talk'n Bama. All right. So everybody in the chat, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what we about to do tonight. First things first. Let's talk about this offensive line, and that's why we got the two Bama guys here. Keelon Russell is locked in. We got him committed. We're going to talk about the offensive line to protect him. Now, Steven, we got Micah DeBose, Jackson Lloyd, Michael Carroll, Mal Waldrep. We got all these big guys. Tell the people why we got all these big guys to protect Keelon Russell, and tell them what's the upside.
Well, first and foremost, I go back to something that Marvin mentioned on the Bama Standard last week. These are big guys with good feet. These are not big guys with slow feet. These are guys with quick typewriter feet that can actually move and that can actually mash, maul, pound, kick out, counter block, do everything that you need to do. And the reason why we got these guys, Coach Chris Kaplovich, he wants his offensive line to be the enforcers, but also be athletic enforcers. Move up to that next level. Take a guy out at the linebacker position. Spring that running back up and down the field. But most importantly, give Keelon Russell, the quarterback of the future, that clean pocket to not just throw the football, but if he wants to get out and move as well, protect him in doing that also. So when the Bama dynasty first started, of course, in the Saban era, Saban did this by building from the offensive line and defensive line out. Mm-hmm. And now we're seeing the program get back to that. It's great to have the wide receivers. It's great to have the skill guys. Right. But Marvin knows it. The thing starts in them trenches. And you got to start in the trenches by having big guys that can move, that can get after your behind, and that can mean business and forcing that action. And that's the reason why Alabama's brought in these guys in this impressive O-line haul to be about that action.
Sound good to me. Marv, what you think about it?
I mean, you definitely have to have linemen that have, can move, that are, can work in space. Because again, if you have just big bodies that can't really move, I mean, a defense can easily come out and do some TE stunts, run some games up front to make these linemen pretty much useless. Because if they can't, pass off blocks and, get to the edge, if they have a wide 9 or something like that, it's useless. And you saw a lot of that last season early on. Look at the amount of sacks we gave up against Texas. Once we started the season off, everybody talking about how big these guys were. My first concern was, but can they move? Because the defensive player, I know you can be how big as you want to be, but if you can't move, I got something for you. And, you can set him up with an outside move with a quick spin back to the inside. If the guy can't move, he can't block you. So those are all the things that I was worried about. And just like I thought, they were happening early on. So I'm just hopeful that these new guys coming in will understand, yes, it's okay to be big, but you're playing against very large athletic men, and it's nothing for a pass rusher to have 3 to 4 moves in his toolbox. So you never know what you're going to get. So you got to be prepared for any and every situation.
Right. And I don't expect all these guys to actually start or even play next year. We're just saying about the O-line class that's coming in for 2025. As you know, we got the kid from Iowa back, Caden Proctor, who struggled at the beginning of the season last year, freshman. He played, he was big, he was too big. And that's why, same thing you just said, Marvin. They put the moves on you, he too quick for you. You could be big all you want, but if you can't push nobody out the way, if you keep getting people go around you, it's not going to work. So at least we'll be able to build these guys and work these guys in. And Coach Cap, the new offensive line coach, I think he's going to do a great job with this offensive line. Marshall, you want to add something to it?
I can't do nothing but agree with Marv because, as you just said as well, JB, we saw Caden Proctor. Why did he leave in the first place, right? Like, did he see something that we haven't because he's inside the building? And now we have all this talent coming in. Is that going to strive these guys to really take that next jump forward in their progression and everything that is going about it? So all we can do is just wait and see. And Steven can probably say more than any of us because he's there.
Right.
I think the main thing with Proctor was he understood. Look, I made a mistake. I went back home thinking back home was what's up, and at home is nothing there but cornfield. So let me come back to Tuscaloosa where I know I'm getting the right type of coaching. And he was talking to his brothers. He was talking to the Tyler Bookers. He was talking to the Jaden Roberts. He's talking to these guys, and these guys are telling him, look, Caden, bro, you messed up. You messed up, bro. Look at who we got in here. We got DeBoer in here. We got Coach Cap in here. We done messed up. You need to come on back home. And Caden Proctor comes back home. But ever since getting back to Tuscaloosa, guys, I mean, this guy is so appreciative to be back. He's dropped weight. Like, Proctor's not 360 no more. He's dropped weight.
He was 360?
360.
Yes. Caden Proctor was 360.
Yeah.
He dropped weight. Not only has he dropped weight, he's gotten after it in the weight room, in the film room. He's gotten a much better diet now. He's working his tail off. Now, right now, they're mixing them in between the 2s and the 1s because in the summer, they move everybody around trying to get the best 5 guys. Okay. But I think Proctor, he learned from last year. He learned from his quest to try to see if Iowa is better than Alabama. Definitely learned from that. But I think Proctor's going to have something to show this season.
I think he got a hold to that Marvin Constant book. He got a hold to that Marvin Constant book and got himself in shape.
Definitely a great resource, I'm telling you, man. But, being 360, oh, my God. Like, come on, man. You got a guy coming from 2-3 yards, maybe 5 yards off the ball. He has an array of weapons at his choice in terms of how he wants to approach the lineman. And, again, if you're that big, your feet are going to be pretty heavy, meaning you're not picking them up, putting them down fast enough to set and reset. And I think that's what a lot of what happened to him last year. So I'm hopeful that him losing weight will make him lighter on his feet and be able to set and reset a lot faster. Because, again, if you can't do that, guys are going to set you up with some serious moves at this level. This isn't high school anymore where you just lay on a guy and you pancake blocking. No, it doesn't work like that on this level.
Guys are bigger, faster, stronger on this next level. So before we move on, you got something, Marshall? Go ahead.
Just real quick to go add on to Stephen and Marvin's point. Look at all the pre-snap stuff we had problems with last year, and that's part of it because he was a little nervous, a little young, obviously, to try and get that extra step that he didn't have. But now, with what Stephen is saying, he might have that.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna ask you one thing, Stephen. So, do you think the center problems are going to be fixed? Do you think the center problems are going to be fixed? I know we got the kid from Washington in there. He's starting. He's set to start. Is there anything you can tell us that we don't know, Stephen, about the center position?
All I can say is this. Seth McLaughlin's at Ohio State. You got Parker Brasford in here. It got no choice but to go up. Parker Brasford did have a good spring. I know he didn't participate as much. That was because he had some credits that needed to transfer all the way in. Y'all know when you transfer school, sometimes credits get stuck in limbo. True. And that can be very agitating at times, but his credits came all the way through. So he's good now. He's been going after it all summer. He's ready for this upcoming season. This is a guy that only gave up, 1 sack of Michael Penix all of last year. Mm-hmm. Led an offensive line that won the Joe Moore Award. So you have a guy that can snap the ball well. Seth McLaughlin's not here anymore. You got no other choice but to go up.
Well, hey, I can't argue with you on that, Steven. I can't argue with you on that. JT, you back with us, my guy?
Hey, so real quick, yes, I'm having some technical difficulties tonight, guys. I apologize. The weather's lit at my house. My kid's up too, so I'm trying to do a balance. So you're probably going to hear the rain hitting. I apologize. I'll mute it when I'm not talking. But I'm here, guys. Am I laggy? Tell me that, though.
You good, brother.
This is the best you've been. Right. This is the best you've been.
Cool.
You good.
I got to get up. My Wi-Fi is tripping right now, so I got to hop off of it. And, yeah, we're good to go, though, guys. So, go ahead, JB. Lead us, man. You already know where we at. How we did Workspace Solutions?
Yes, sir. So we gonna jump on to the next topic then.
All right, let's go.
We got Marvin here, man. So this is right here, this segment called "We Gonna Talk About These Linebackers." Break down this defense, concerns and expectations. Now, I'm gonna pose this question: do we have enough depth at linebacker this season? And who's gonna step up and be the Marvin Constant of this defense? Because I watched some tape on you, Marvin, to get hyped for the show because you was coming on our show. And boy, them hits you was laying, that wood you was laying, pause. Man, listen. Dog, you got me hyped for the season. So let's go. JT, while you here, come on. Who's gonna be the Marvin Constants of this linebacker group?
Man, we talked about him last week, man, and it was a lot of people kind of mentioned it. I like Quay. I think he's gonna be really good. I think he's gonna be that dude. Think he's gonna get the PT this year. He's gonna get to shine. He's gonna get the opportunity. We gotta see how it unfolds. But you got Lawson and Campbell that are dogs too, and especially Campbell. That man gets after. He's where to think about it, man. The scoop and score against Tennessee. The ball finds him right. All right. the Auburn fumble that led to the 4th and 31 play that with Jalen Waddle caught, that right there, he's right there where the ball's at every time. Feel like I did that? No, but yeah, so yeah, man, I don't know, man. I like those guys right here. Those are my guys. We'll kind of see how the season goes on, man, but I'm super excited to see the 4-2-5. I think this is going to be a defense that's going to unleash some things the Bama Nation doesn't even fully understand yet.
Okay. Steven, Mr. Inside Man, who can you see on our defense in the linebacker group that can possibly be like a Marvin Constant type player?
Well, you know what? Uncle Marvin's a man of his own. So Uncle Marvin's one of one. However, if
I said type.
If I had to pick a type here, I'm gonna go Jeremiah Alexander.
Man,
I think Jeremiah could be that. He's learned now the whole inside linebacker room assignment. It's taken him a minute because he came in as an outside backer. He had to transition to inside. Of course, he was more so of a defensive end at Thompson High School. So now he finally has the full gist of what it is and what it means to be an inside linebacker at his size, that his skill set, he could really be that guy.
My bad, I was on mute. That's some good insight, but that's my guy too as well, Jeremiah Alexander. I always thought he had the potential. I think this year he gets the opportunity, get more playing time, and I think he's going to make a ton of tackles. Marvin, who do you see with the potential to be a player your caliber?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I have my eye on Quay. You know, coming out of high school, the hype that came with him, you got to live up to that hype at some point.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, the pressure of not living up to that hype, it will eat at you for years and years to come. So I really think, you know, he's ready to step up to the plate. And here's the thing about it. In this 4-2-5 defense, it's designed for guys on the edge to shine because you have those interior linemen who's going to, you know, pretty much take care of those offensive linemen for you. So in most cases, he's going to find himself one-on-one with the tight end, maybe have a running back chipping or something like that. It's designed for him to do work in a 4-2-5. So, you know, and when it comes to Alexander, you know, moving from the outside to the inside is a lot more difficult than moving from the inside to the outside. So that is not an easy transition because, again, on the outside, you're looking at, you know, keeping containment, you know, not, you know, staying as deep as the deepest, you know, you're not really worried about pass coverage so much as, you know, occasionally you probably got to cover the flat. Whereas in the middle, you know, you got to look for 2, 3, depending upon what defense you're in. Those crosses, you got to pass them off. You got to read run. You potentially got to set the front. You got to make the adjustments, you know, to the back end. There's a lot more that goes on to play middle than it does to play outside. The guys on the outside, they're just here to listen. Again, don't let anybody outside you. You know, it's simple. But again, when you're in that middle, that is a completely different beast. So, you know, I hope that Alexander can step up to the plate and be, you know, great because, again, being physical is one thing, but having that mind is completely different. You have to be smart as hell to play inside linebacker. I mean, it's not an easy job at all. So, but to me, I think that guy is going to be Quay. I think Quay is ready to step up and take over. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I love
I'm with you, Marv. I'm with that one all day, baby.
I like that take.
That's hometown kid for me, man. Montgomery right there. That's hometown. Marshall, you want to ask mine? Who's a player that you think could be like 4-5?
I just think that from what I've seen so far, that Lawson can just take that next physical step up. I felt like he was a little slower than what we had seen in the past last year. So I'm just looking for Lawson to take that next step up. I had to agree with JT on what he said. And like it's like Marv said, it's designed to benefit them and take away their weaknesses because you always have help.
Now, the biggest thing Marshall's going to be, though, for Lawson is Lawson, number one, got to stay healthy. He had a couple of nagging injuries last year. But the thing with D-Law, you changed your number to 0. You got a ball.
I was about to say that.
When you change, when you become the first, when you become the first agent 0 in the Alabama history, you got a ball. You got no choice.
Quote that.
Yeah. And Campbell went from 30 to 11. Hey, so I mean, when the numbers change, that means they got their number.
But you know what?
Their number. That's the one they want now.
They are expected to be great. You know, those are the returning guys. They're expected to be great and kind of be the leaders, and they're playing that middle linebacker position. So we expect those guys to be great. But guys, I got some more names that we didn't really talk about. Sterling Dixon, Justin Jefferson, Q Robinson, you know, Yonze Pierre, and man, Keanu Cole.
Keanu and Sterling, I need to see more from them. You know, again, the one thing about this sport, especially playing defense, you're gonna get what you put into it. You understand? And if you can't go out there and be a man, be a dog to control that defense and take on those guards and those tackles, I mean, it's gonna be hard to get on the field, especially in a 4-2-5, because you know it's not like, you know, in a 3-4 where you got those two gap guys holding up those linemen. You know, in a 4-2-5, they're pretty much playing their gap, and you're responsible for it. You're responsible for it. So you better be prepared to hold that thing down. You know, if that guard is uncovered and he's chipping up to you, you better be hat in hand getting off him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you can't do those things, it's going to be a long damn night.
Oh,
all I can say is, for Q-Rob, this is a pivotal year for him because he came in that 2020 class with Will Anderson. And a lot of people were very high on Q-Rob when he came in. But when you look at Colt, when you look at Pierre, a lot of these kids are way more twitchy and way more explosive than Q-Rob is. Yes, Q-Rob has the system. Q-Rob has some game experience, absolutely. But he's got to show his ability to, I can throw some bowls too now. Like Cole and these other guys ain't twitchier than what I am. So this is a big year for Q-Rob. He got to show it.
Okay,
that's true, Steve. Hey, you can't argue with that, boy. You got to show me. Don't tell me. Just show me, because you know the star, like y'all always say, the stars don't matter. You 5-star for it don't matter. Show me something on the field, and now we have a new coaching staff. Damn near a whole new coaching staff. They're gonna play the best players available. So it ain't no favoritism. You're gonna have to get out there and show that you belong on the field.
Right, because them coaches are trying to show they belong in the SEC and they belong in Alabama, and because of that, they gonna put the best on the field because they don't want them getting burnt. They don't want themselves getting burned as coaches.
Right, and you know how the Bama fan base is. They gonna talk about you.
Yeah, you're gonna get cut down real quick.
Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is.
So as we would say on this show, the standard is high.
Yeah, the standard is the standard, and the standard is Bama.
Yeah, 100.
Everybody know that. So we've talked expectation for these linebackers, man. Let's talk concerns about this 4-2-5. Now, Marvin, I came up with this question because a couple months ago, you said the run-heavy teams are going to run through this defense. Well, you didn't say it, but you kind of mentioned it. It's going to be difficult to stop those run-heavy teams that run the up-tempo when you got 5 DBs, smaller guys on the field. What do you think, Marv? I'm going to start with you. Explain this to the people who don't really know what that means.
I mean, you know, a 4-2-5, you know, again, 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. The 5th defensive back is usually a hybrid player, you know, somebody who can cover and potentially play in the box to stop the run. You know, I played in a predominantly 4-3 defense, and I know when those 4 guys up front get tired, it can be problematic because, again, they're not going to be the bigger bodies like you would have in a 3-4. So, and you're only expecting them to, you know, pretty much hold their gap. So, you know, you get a team that comes out run heavy, up tempo, you're going to have that 5th defender come in that box. He's going to play there consistently. Can he consistently take on that guard or that tackle who may be chipping up to him to you know, to run the ball to wherever he's at? Because if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm telling you right now, I'm going straight at him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to run some type of trap, some type of draw, something like that to where I'm using my lineman to pull, wrap, block. So because, again, all I want to do is get him to where that guard, that tackle or that tight end is hitting him 2 or 3 good times. A DB is not really going to take that punishment for so long. That's my only concern. You know, will those guys be able to stand up to those huge tackles and tight ends when they are getting up to the next level and they're blocking them? Because, again, even for a linebacker, that's not an easy feat to do for an entire game, 60 minutes. It takes a toll on your body. So I'm hopeful, that, we'll have the guys up front who can stop those tackles and tight ends from getting to that next level to, get hands on them, because if they do consistently, man, that is a long night.
Mm-hmm. And we have struggled with running teams. I mean, look at Auburn. Auburn runs that up tempo. They run the ball, and you've struggled to stop Auburn when they run the ball. So we're going to have to get it together. Steven, what do you think about it? Piggyback on that.
My concern, guys, is basically, will Kane Womack develop enough packages where we get all of our pass rushes on the field and we can be able to create pressure from every angle that we want to? That's my biggest concern. Because if you go back and you look at what made the 2015, 16, and 17 defenses so great, Jeremy Pruitt found ways to have pressure coming from every single angle to where you didn't know where it was coming from. It could be Jonathan Allen 1 minute. It could be Tim Williams the next minute. It could be Ryan Anderson. You didn't know where it was coming from. And quarterbacks were like, the creatures are everywhere.
Now, Steven.
Yeah.
But where did it start, though? What was that second name you said?
Jonathan Allen. Like, it was coming it was coming from everywhere. So you look at where Kane Womack is concerned, can we have enough pressure packages to where he could disguise this and have it come from every single angle to create that anxiety for a quarterback in that pocket, or to create that anxiety for offensive linemen knowing who are we going to block, because we don't know where this is coming from. So that's my main thing. Can Womack be creative enough to where we get this rush coming from every angle?
But do we have a Jonathan Allen type body?
Oh, do we?
Bama has that guy, but
will he play like Jonathan Allen? Because to have the body is one thing, to play like it is another.
Yeah, will he pop?
That guy would be James Smith if they just put him on the field.
Okay.
Now, the moment you say if they put him on the field, that makes me say, so what the hell is he doing wrong that he's not on the field?
I mean, Saban didn't put him on the field. Kane Womack may put him on the field.
But again, what is the reason why Saban did not play the guy? Because again, if you have a guy that has Jonathan Allen-like talent, which is immense, there has to be a good damn reason why you don't trust him.
First round NFL talent.
He did play. Now, James Smith did play. They would just put him in there and then take him out.
And being a starter as an impact player. Because playing means you're just spelling another guy. And if you're spelling another guy, clearly they have more confidence in this guy, and they think this guy is either better than you or more reliable than you.
Well, I'm looking at this year, James Smith this season.
Or did he have a coach who didn't know how to properly utilize him? Let's face it, guys. The past 4 or 5 years, we've not had a defensive coordinator who knew how to utilize talent, develop talent, or put them where they needed to be. Marvin can attest to that. The whole game changes when you get a guy in there who knows how to do all those things and can develop that talent. The question is, do we have a Jonathan Allen? We could very well have it. My question is, do we have the coach who knows how to let that horse run?
I'm hoping so, because again, man, you're running that 4-2-5. You better have some horses up front. Them 4 better be a solid 4.
Marvin said they all 4 got to be Maseratis.
They better be.
But if you have a clown driving the car, it don't matter where the Maserati goes.
Are you calling Pete a clown?
I sure am. Tune into
this ain't the first time you've done it.
Hey, look, man. To the Golden family, y'all still getting roasted.
Hey, Justin just telling it like it is. He just telling it like it is.
They still getting roasted, though.
It do be facts, man. But check this out though. You want to add something, Marshall? You want to add something?
I want to ask Marv a question. In a traditional 4-2-5, do they rotate the front four like we normally have seen from the Saban era? Is there going to be, like you're saying, the difference between a starter and the like a rotational player kind of situation? Are the starters going to stay in more often? Because you said it earlier about them getting tired and this and that. I said earlier, how good is the help defense going to be? Can they read off, oh, I have my eyes in the backfield, I can come off my guy a little bit faster, so on and so forth? Like, does that matter?
They better rotate those two defensive tackles on a regular basis because, again, we know those guys are going to get tired. And, again, once you're late into the second half and you got teams in 3rd and long, they're going to throw the ball. So if those guys are tired, are they still getting pressure? Are they getting their hands up to bat balls down because they're sucking wind and they're tired? So they better keep those guys fresh, as well as those guys on the edge, those outside backers, because, again, you want these guys to get pressure all night long. They won't be as tired as those huge defensive tackles, but that's where it starts, those two defensive tackles. That's why I asked, do we have a Jonathan Allen type player? Jonathan Allen has one hell of a motor. That man does not slow down. He does not
totally
stop.
Right.
And again,
Totally
if
right.
you don't have guys who can still get those arms up, batting balls down in 3rd, 4th quarter, that's a difference in a quarterback completing the pass on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 over the middle versus him not completing it. Because, again, if those arms aren't up and those guys aren't jumping, he has a direct line of sight to that receiver. You got to do something. It's not always about getting to the quarterback. Sometimes you just got to get in that line of sight, batting those balls.
Get in the way.
And when guys are tired, are you really getting that level of effort from them?
Yeah. About affecting the play, even if you don't make the play, you affect the play. That's very true. Very true.
Especially if you playing a team like Georgia or suppose, because we all know Georgia loves to run the hell out of that damn tunnel screen. If those guys are tired and that tunnel screen breaks back between those hashes, there's going to be times when these guys are going to have to make tackles. Because, again, when that thing breaks back between those hashes and you got those safeties and those corners outside the hashes playing those outside receivers, if they get blocked potentially, somebody has to make that play. And, again, if you're in a 4-2-5, your inside backer, again, if you got 3 to the field, 9 times out of 10, he's responsible for 3. So he's going to be lined up potentially, C gap maybe or even wider depending upon how far out that guy is. And they run a tunnel screen, hell, he might be out of the play as well. So you're going to need those guys to be able to get downfield and make tackles at times.
That's
how many of those tackles, Marvin, did Kenny Smith make?
None.
None. Zip Zato.
None.
But yeah, guys, we got to keep those guys fresh. Rotations and don't forget, when they get those first downs, they're gonna run up tempo. They're gonna keep running up tempo. So you're not gonna be able to be substitute like that. If the offense don't sub, you can't sub. So hey, you better be ready. And they better, I don't know what they gotta do. Whatever they gotta do to get ready, they need to be doing it.
Yeah.
Conditioning. So before we move to the next topic, we want to ask about Dawson Merritt.
Yes.
Marv, we want to ask you about Dawson Merritt. You very high on this kid. So tell the people why you are so high on Dawson Merritt.
The main thing being that his dad being a former NFL player and a current NFL coach, I'm sure dad has taught him how to study film, how to break down opponents, knowing, hey, if you see a running back who's 1-1 with the quarterback, you already know, screen draw. If you see a tight end is covered up, you already know he can't release up the field. It's the little things that make linebackers great. When you can see those pre-snap keys that pretty much tell you where the hell the ball's going before it's even snapped, that's what makes him great. And again, with his dad having that NFL experience, I'm pretty sure that this kid already knows all that from A to Z. So again, it's going to be it should be an easy transition for him because again, in high school, yeah, you'll see some of this, but not like you will in college. And again, when you know, okay, if I got trips to the field, and I know this team from watching them, I know what they want to run. There's only going to be 1 or 2 options that we're potentially going to see out of this. It allows you to be able to guess at times and actually guess right. And if you can guess right based upon what you see, trusting your eyes and your instincts, man, that goes a long way in linebacker play. So again, I think him having a dad who's an NFL coach, NFL pedigree, teaching him what to look for is going to make him great early.
Big time.
You're on mute, JB.
On mute. Okay, so we got Marvin Constant 2.0 coming next year. That's what you're saying.
I'm hoping so, because again, that is one of the things that worked out so well for me. You know, I started as a redshirt freshman, and everybody asked me, how did you play so well as a redshirt freshman? It's because my linebacker coach, Jeff Rousey, made me learn every offensive set and every play that could potentially come out of every offensive set.
Yeah.
So I could just process information so quickly and, okay, I know where you're going with this before the ball even snaps. So let me just go ahead and go there. So I'm hopeful that he'll have those same instincts and it works out well for him.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. JT,
Yes,
you
sir.
want to bring us on the net topic?
Oh, yeah, man. So, guys, thank you guys being in here once again, guys. Everybody in the chat right now, guys, comment real quick, guys. Nothing but the tie, baby. We about to move on to the next topic, though, guys. We just got a big commit. Dejon Lee, 5-star cornerback, number 4 cornerback in the nation. This guy can also possibly be a two-way player for us. A lot's going to come down to that. But we're about to ask my man Stephen M. Smith to break this down for us right here. So, give me a rundown, man. Dejon Lee, 5-star cornerback out of California, commits to the Tide. Let me know. Break it down for us real quick.
Okay, so for Lee, this is the 5th commitment from the state of California. So this tells you DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, they're really on the West Coast getting these kids. When you look at Dejon Lee, played cornerback, played wide receiver at high school in California. This kid at 6'4", 190, depending on how good can he run. Because if he's a guy that can run, we're talking about real speed run, the ability to, have that speed to play in the slot against some of the faster receivers in college football, then he can be a corner. If he's probably a step slower, maybe a 4'6" guy, he'll probably fit more so as a safety. So now we'll look at that once he gets in here, and we'll put him with Coach Linguist and Coach Hitzler. But when you watch the tape, he's got a little bit of different guys. Now, his length, his ability to get up there and affect the passes, affect the ball, it reminds me a bit of D. Milner.
Oh.
Remember when D. Milner was here? D. Milner had long arms, and he could affect the football. You go back to that 2012 season, D. Milner had 20 pass breakups that year. People forget that. When I look at Dejon Lee, that length is D. Milner. If he has the speed to match that length, he's going to be a problem.
Do you know his measurables?
He's 6'4", he's 190. He's got 10-inch hands though.
Jesus.
Okay. Golly.
For people in the chat, Odell Beckham, everybody knows him. His are like almost 11. So
Yeah,
So we got Odell hands.
Yeah. Boy got the monsters. But see, that's good to have as a DB, though, because of what he's going to have to do, what he's going to do, his size up. Also in the SEC, we talk about the 4-2-5. We can mix that in there because obviously he's a defensive player. But there's 5 DBs on the field. And then but like Marv said, there's a guy that's going to be able to play in the box, more or less, kind of like somebody. Landon Collins would have been a good example. You can move Landon Collins down. Clinton Dix. You can move him down. Mark Barron. Mark Barron's actually a better example. You could move him down, and that would have been like a perfect example right there. So, we're going to see how this is. JB, how do you feel about us getting Dejon Lee, man?
First of all, I'm going to say you called it on the show last week when you walked off and said we getting Dejon Lee June 28th, and we went off the air. So props to you for that.
Mic drop.
Yeah, you dropped the mic on us. So I mean, I'm gonna piggyback on what you said about the California connection with Courtney Morgan getting these guys from out on that West Coast, man. When he jumped off that plane, I'll say this all the time. When Courtney Morgan jumped off that plane with the boy looking like Rick Ross, I said we got a problem, a good problem at that. So with those connections that he had. We was already getting guys from the West Coast. Now, imagine us getting more guys from the West Coast with this connection. Just imagine. Dejon Lee, I mean, he was a highly touted player, We got him. Let's hope he stays committed to us because, I don't want to get too happy because we got a long time before signing day. So saying all that, man, who knows the domino effect of getting these West Coast guys? We see them, they keep coming in. So let's just hope that this is the start and the continuation of something great building up this team.
Yeah, so Dejoun Lee looks like the real deal. I've looked him up. A lot of highlights on him. There was a couple other guys they highlighted during the recruitment. The recruitment, the official visits last week. These guys are coming in. Alabama's flipping them. I mean, it's like a factory right now. And I heard something funny the other day about DeBoer is recruiting well now, but he'll never develop. And I think that's funny because DeBoer was at Sioux Falls where you had to develop. He was at Indiana where you got to develop. He was at Washington where you got to develop 2 and 3 stars. Like no stars, like just guys that show up to practice. Like, this dude's a great coach. It's gonna happen. Keep doubting the man. That's cool. Marv, you got anything you want to add on Dejoun Lee with a 5-star commit we just rocked in right there for the defense?
Oh, I'm always happy to see a guy commit, especially when he's highly touted. But I always say it, man, don't tell me about these stars till they hit the field. Don't tell me about it till I see it. Because, again, man, all those stars go out the window when another guy's hitting you in the mouth, unlike you've been ever hit in the mouth in high school. So that's why I say it. But I will say DeBoer has done an amazing job recruiting, man. And with the talent that he had at Washington to finish as runner-up, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with real talent at Alabama now. I think that this is going to be an opportunity for him to show how great of a coach he really is. Because, again, to do the job that he did at Washington with the players that he had, you're at Alabama now. You got real horses now. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes.
And he did a lot of that. He wasn't under the microscope like he will be at Bama. Washington kind of just came. Man, I mean, those 2 years at Washington, he had 2 great years, but they wasn't like favorites. But at Bama, you always going to be expected to win, expected to go to the natty. So he's going to be under a hell of a microscope. And let's hope he can take this talent, the greater talent like you just mentioned, Marvin, and make a championship out of it.
If I beat you racing in the 79 El Camino with scrap parts, what the hell am I going to do with a 2024 brand new race car with all new Mopar parts on it, the best engine in the world? I'm going to whoop your ass week in and week out.
That's a hell of an analogy.
That is, boy. That's a good way to get to the point and let them know about it real quick.
That's a good way. I saw somebody in the chat mention we still got to get those dirty South guys and guys from the South. We getting those too.
Yeah.
Look at those Mississippi kids.
People, calm down. People in the chat, calm down. Of the 20 commitments, 11 are from the South to Southeast. Okay, 11 of the 20. So
I don't give a damn where they come from, as long as they can play football.
That's what Marv said. I'm with you. I don't care if they come from wherever, bro. I just need you to come and ball. John Mechie came from Canada, came down here balling. That's cool.
For real.
Come on down, bro.
Look,
I just need you to ball, dog.
Look, Justin Okonrokwo from Germany, and he in here balling.
Yes, sir. Big dog.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So Dejoun Lee, like you said, ripple effect. Also, like Keelon Russell, there's some ripple effects with that. I'm gonna say somebody else, 2 guys I see on Twitter actively committing for the Tide right now. Chuck McDonald, dude is commenting on everybody's stuff. Also, Duke Johnson commenting on all these recruits guys that are like Caleb Cunningham, multiple other guys, with the eye emojis. You coming to Bama? So I think those things are good. I think having guys that are recruiting for us on social media that are actively committed, I think that does wonders for the program. So, Dejoun Lee, Chuck McDonald, like you just said, Lisa, that and on top of what we just got this class too, man. Oh man, like that is absolutely amazing.
JT,
what's up?
Do you think that the coaches are empowering the players to do that more often?
No, I just think the guys are just that's just kind of what's happening, in my personal opinion. Stephen Smith could probably break that down better. Do you think the coaches are an influence in that, or do you think the players are just taking that upon themselves?
I think, Marshall, I think the players want to play with each other. I think the players are taking it upon themselves to okay, if I'm going to commit, I'm going to get you to commit. And I'm going to make sure you come with me. So I think the players are taking it upon themselves. But what I think is even cooler is how this entire coaching staff is all over social media. You got Courtney Morgan tweeting stuff. You got my man Coach Efron Rogers tweeting stuff. You got Coach Mullen Gwist tweeting stuff. All the coaches are on Twitter really having that vibe with these 16, 17-year-old kids. It's like they can connect in a way that I've never seen before.
Kalen's on Snapchat.
I mean, Kalen DeBoer's on Snapchat. Yes.
Kalen DeBoer's on Snapchat.
Kalen DeBoer's on Snapchat. Like, these coaches have got a way to, we gonna speak your language and we gonna pull you in here. And that's exactly what's happening.
Man, these coaches tweeting more than they tweet more than boy Lane Kiffin.
Yo, what we got right there, JB?
Got a super
what we
chat
got right there. Super chat in the house, guys. We're here. Got my dad tickets to the Georgia game for Father's Day. It's going to be his first Bama game at home. We're going to beat them Georgia puppy dogs. Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.
Blitz, Bama, blitz.
Chase.
Appreciate
it,
Yes, appreciate
That's
you.
a
Thank
night
you for
game,
coming
too.
through
You're
tonight.
going to love that. You're going to love that.
Atmosphere is better at night. The Dixieland Delight hits, Sweet Home Alabama hits a little bit harder when that sun goes down in Bryant.
That LED lighting feature is nice.
It sends chills down your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Cat said talk about a culture shock for us with social media and coaches. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, seeing Alabama football head coach tweet, it took me a minute to kind of be like, okay, this could be good though. This could be good. Saban just attracted. He didn't need social media. Not saying DeBoer does. I'm just saying the new wave of it. Saban was before the media, so our social media part. So we'll kind of move on for time reasons, guys. JB, I think this something right here that everybody, me and you've talked about this on the show a lot. A lot of shows talk about this. A lot of Bama fans talked about this. Everybody has. Nick Saban's new role at Alabama and how that's going to be. And it kind of got they leaked out some numbers. They leaked out some things from them. Stephen and Smith, I want you to kind of break down this new role, everything with Nick Saban right now, still kind of being a part of the Tide, but maybe, with a step back a little bit.
Okay, so Nick's role is he's an advisor to the staff. So what this is basically Nick Saban has the coaches come in to see him, or he goes to see them. The players come in and talk to him, and he just kind of evaluates and gives his thoughts. He'll give his thought on things. He's not going to overstep anything, but he'll come in, he'll advise DeBoer, okay, I like this. You can change that. I like this. You probably can tweak that. Or a player may come in, Coach Saban, I need to talk to you about something, man. How do you feel about this? And Coach will give his advice. He'll give his stamp on some things, just in that advisory role. He's not going to overstep what DeBoer wants to do, but at the same time, he and Ms. Terry have stated, whatever we can do to make this transition better for you, let us know we're about doing that. So in this role, Saban will make, $500,000 a year in this role, but it takes, he doesn't have the stress on him that he had at 17 years of being the head coach, but at the same time, what has Saban always said? I never want to have a feeling where I'm not a part of a team. So he's still a part of a team, but in this role of advising guys and giving his viewpoint of things versus pure coaching as he once did.
So, Steven, is he's still going to be on College Game Day, right?
Yes.
So is that legal? Can he actually still have this role with Alabama and get on College Game Day talking about other teams?
They have worked that out. So that has been worked out. He'll be a part of College Game Day. And then when he's not doing College Game Day, of course, he'll be in his office above Brian Denny, advising the best way that he can do so. So he's been maneuvering this, and this is what Greg Byrne wanted to see happen. This is what Kalen DeBoer wanted to see happen. And we kind of had an idea. Once Saban retired, he was not going to leave the city. He loves the city. Miss Terry loves being in Tuscaloosa. She ain't going nowhere. So this is what Coach Saban the next step to be.
Marv, you want to chime in?
Hey, man, it's always good to have a coach of Coach Saban's caliber still a part of the program. And again, if you ever feel like you're too old or too high to learn, that's a problem. And I think, him giving Coach DeBoer that knowledge and that wisdom, it's going to take DeBoer to a whole nother level. Like, I think that this can actually be scary for the next 10 years if done right. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
That's awesome, man.
Herb said, "Is it legal? I'm Nick Saban. I do what I want."
Pretty much. I had to, because if you think about it, it's so many rules and stipulations. But see, we're in the new era though, so it's really not a lot of rules. You got guys transferring, doing what they want to do. So Saban, like, hell, y'all, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I got no problem with it.
Just to be sure, JB, didn't they just change the transfer rule recently? Like a few months.
They did. But It was a little different, though. The spring one, has a spring one you got to sit out, and you can't transfer, and the SEC couldn't transfer within.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the fall time you could. I think they're eventually going to come up with something a little bit better here soon. I got faith in Saban now that he can focus on something. Other than that, I think he'll kind of, put some focus on that and kind of get something going, so. We'll see how that one goes there. But breaking down Saban's new role, that was kind of how that is. We just heard it from the Bama guys themselves. I think that Saban's going to be great with his new role. I think like Smith said right there, with people being able to come in and ask a question if they need to. Just being the ghost presence, having him the seal of approval. Marshall, how do you feel about the new role?
I just safety net. Why? Think about the advantage, think about what Marv just said. Look at the advantage alone that has. JT, I've known you for a long time. You are one of the best skaters I have ever seen on skates. Imagine if you could go to the person who first invented it, in a sense, and get advice from them. Pick their brain.
Yeah,
this is what Kalen DeBoer has at his disposal. It's almost cheating. It literally feels like cheating. I hate to say it like that, but it's a glorious time to be an Alabama fan. Not only to get to see this transition, but it speaks for itself.
Okay, yeah, I agree. JB. I want to hear your thoughts, man. What's your thoughts on this new role? I know you mentioned the college game day part of it, man. What you think about it?
Yeah. That $500K he making, he don't really need that money. Can he donate some of that to the Bama Standard?
You know what? Let me get that in writing to Greg Byrne. Hold on.
We need that. Yeah. We need that in writing to Greg Byrne.
Mention that to him when you go down to media day, Steve.
Definitely mention that.
Look, man. When I go down there and I see Chuck Dunlap in the gang of the SEC, and I see Greg Byrne walking, I'm gonna slide that to him.
Okay. Do that for you.
Slide him an invoice.
Right.
And Marv needs to be on the coaching staff.
Oh yeah, man. I've been seeing a lot of people. Hey, a lot of people
hold on.
Tonight.
Marvin said he don't want them hours that mess with his vacation time.
Not at all.
Well, Marvin, you could be one of them Nick Saban advisor roles for the defense.
There you go. There you go.
If they don't let me coach remote, if it's a remote position,
remote, they're gonna have Marv out
from the iPad. He coaching from the iPad.
Yeah. Some guy gonna be running, just holding the iPad. Marv gonna be snapping on the iPad.
Kalen DeBoer gonna have Marv on Snapchat. Hey, is this a good play?
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah. Hey, what he do, DeBoer? What he do?
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, hey, if y'all like it, I love it, man. Having Nick Saban around, he said he wasn't going nowhere, so you gotta take him for his word. Now that he has an actual position, and I mean, it's great. It's great for Kalen DeBoer. It's great for especially the guys who stuck around, who has built that relationship with Saban, Malachi, Milroe, the guys like that, who and just imagine. I know Terry Arnold did what the great thing for him to go to the draft, get drafted. Imagine Terry Arnold came back and he had Saban and Miss Terry still there.
Oh,
I mean, but those guys who stuck around, Nick Saban's guys, his recruits, and guys, we forget most of these guys who are on this team, the freshmen, those are Nick Saban recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban recruited these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he recruited Ryan Williams. We had to bring him back, but Nick Saban recruited Ryan Williams. So it's still a connection there, still a bond there. Even though he's not the coach of the team, this is still somewhat his team. So don't forget that.
One more quick question for Stephen. Do you think that Saban is still going to do the off-season stuff, like taking the guys out for the Sunday breakfasts and doing the on the lake type of stuff?
I could see that. That's going to be interesting to watch there because he normally does that in July.
Okay.
So that's going to be intriguing to see. Does he still take the guys to the lake house? They ride the jet skis. They go tubing out there, and they put that, on video or social media. Or does Kalen DeBoer do something with those guys?
Something different.
That will be intriguing because we've recently saw the guys have a kickball tournament on Juneteenth, and I never seen that they had the kickball tournament there. So I will keep my eyes on. Does Saban continue the tradition of taking the guys in the lake, the veteran guys, as well as the freshmen, or is this Kalen DeBoer's time to really sort of take this thing over and he does something with those guys?
I think he has to let Kalen do his own thing because if you don't, you're going to live in the shadows of Coach Saban forever. As part of the transition, you have to let Kalen do his own thing.
Right.
That's true. And Marv, you were there when y'all had a coaching transition back when you played. What kind of team bonding did you guys do, if you can remember?
Not much of anything. Franchoni just came in and laid down his rules in the law, and that was pretty much it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh man, he played none. He just came in and said, "This is what it is, guys. What we're going to do. If you don't like it, I don't care. That's what we're doing. Roll Tide."
Right.
Yeah, that sounds fun, man. I think that as time goes on, we'll learn more about the things there. I want to move on to our last topic, guys. We're about to go probably OT with this one. A little bit of overtime here. Nothing crazy, but kind of projecting, starting guys we like. We're gonna say starting, but guys we like maybe that might, you can start the game, but that don't really mean nothing if you just start the game. There's people that don't start the game. Josh Jacobs, he probably didn't start the game a lot, but he had played 60, 70% in there, so. But guys we like, going wide receiver, running back right here. Running back, wide receiver, however you want to say it. I'll kind of pop off one or two real quick. I'll pass it over Stephen M. Smith, and then we'll just kind of bounce around everybody who we kind of like. It ain't got to be, no inside information. Just who we kind of like and stuff. So projecting starting wide receivers. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now one of my favorite, Jeremy Bernard. And I'm going to tell you a guy that is a sleeper, Cole Adams. Watch my man, Cole Adams, sleeper, inside kind of slot, Julian Edelman, Damian Adola type guy. Everybody knows the two-headed monster at running back, Justice and Jam. I'm going to dig a little deeper. I think when Daniel Hill can get in there and show his talent, I think Daniel Hill will be that guy. That man is a thumper. That dude is huge, straight out of Mississippi, cornbread fed. That man's ready to roll, baby. And I'm excited to see that. So our running back room's loaded, wide receiver room's loaded. Stephen M. Smith, real quick, tell us some guys you like, man.
Well, like you mentioned, JT, the running back room is already stacked with Justice and Jam. But I love Richard Young. I think it's Richard Young's time. I think Richard Young is going to definitely get some burn in there. A young man from Florida, former 5-star, is his moment, his time at wide receiver. I'm going to say this. I like Emmanuel Henderson. I really like it. Now, I think now Prentice and K-Law are big time, but Emmanuel Henderson's a different kind of fast. He's a different kind of horse out there when you put E-Man out there. So I want to see, where does he fall in this room? Because Jamarcus Shepard really liked E-Man coming out of spring. I want to see, where does he fall in this rotation?
He finally changed that 24. He finally changed his number.
I was just about to mention that.
He's now number 3, which has me thinking, is E-Man for the play for real now?
Right.
Yeah, that number 3. That one.
That's a number that plays.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. You number 3, man. You got to be on the field and tied.
Yep.
Marv, real quick, man. I know you're a defensive guy. I know your defense is ain't your forte here. I know that, brother. But just give me a guy you like on the offense. Wide receiver, running back, who you like?
I'm gonna go with Justice. I mean, him and Hill are gonna be the difference in terms of how successful this offense will be. I'm gonna say that for one reason and one reason only. When you're playing against a team that has 3 to 4 running backs that are still running it just as hard in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go as they were in the first quarter on first play, that is a hard thing to stop, and it wears a defense down, man. I'm telling you, we played Tennessee in '99 when they had Jamal Lewis and Travis Henry. It's like, oh my God, does it ever end? I'm telling you, you got 2 to 3 backs who can go. It's a difference, man. And again, once you have that, what does that cause the defense to do? Walk that 8th defender down in the box. So now you got that over the top, that post corner. You got those go routes open because you don't have that safety sitting deep anymore because he's so worried about the run. So a simple play action pass, hit their ass with a post or a post corner, and it's game over, lights out. But that starts with those guys effectively running the ball and running it damn good. And we got the backs to do it. So if they do their job and they do it well, you're going to see Bernard have that breakout year. You're going to see Williams have that breakout year. But it starts with those 3 guys.
Okay.
Man.
I agree.
Hell
JB, give me a running backs and wide receivers this year, brother.
And, man, I was talking about running backs, Justice Hayes, Jam Miller. I think both of them could be RB1, 1A, 1B. I really don't know who will start. I guess it depends. I would like to see both of them out there in some packages, 2 running back packages out there, 3 wide, put 2 running backs out there, because we've seen what Jam Miller can do on the screen, throwing him the ball out the backfield. We've seen that. We know Justice Hayes can run that ball between those tackles and break tackles and be explosive. And like you guys mentioned, Daniel Hill, Richard Young, when they get in the game and the defenses are wore down, they'll break away. So I think I have no problem, no concerns with the running back room except health. Now, wide receivers, I think these 3 guys are going to be on the field the most part. Jeremy Bernard, Kobe Prentice, and Kendrick Law. And if Ryan Williams learns the playbook, he gets on the field, he's going to be the X factor. Because if you got this kid, this super talented kid on the field with all these other playmakers, come on, man. Who you going to double? Ryan Williams one-on-one? Good night. Especially, like Marv said, you put 8 in the box and you go over the top, and Monroe can throw the ball deep. You already know that. So good luck stopping this Alabama offense. I'm excited, man.
I'm with you. Marshall, running backs, wide receivers, man. It ain't got to be somebody you think is going to start. Maybe it's somebody you like, somebody could possibly start. What you got, man?
Whenever he fully officially committed, Mr. Ryan Williams, like it blew my mind. You JT, you were the one that really entrusted me. You wanted me to go watch film on him from high school, and some of the things, obviously, it's high school film. It's a little bit of a disadvantage. He's not going up against the players of the same caliber. But now, whenever you go see what he's doing in practice and whatnot, Steven could probably say more than I can. Yeah. I truly believe he will be, as JB just said, an X factor. Who you going to double? They're going to kill you from death by 1,000 cuts, however you want to phrase it. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch.
If I'm not mistaken,
Ryan Williams is my guy. I'm so excited to see this guy in an Alabama uniform.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Coach Shepard say something about get your popcorn ready when he was talking about Ryan Williams?
He did say that. He did say that. And he mentioned how this dude is going to be really, really good. And I'll say this. We could see a situation. I'm not saying it will happen, but we could see a situation where early in the season, Kobe Prentice and Ryan Williams may interchange in that slot. Ooh. We could see a situation where Kobe and Ryan could interchange that slot. You would have Jeremy Bernard at the bottom of the formation and Kendrick Law up top. And you could have in the slot Kobe and Ryan interchange. That is scary.
Gunners, baby.
Steven, real quick, didn't Ryan play mostly X in high school?
He played mostly X, but Ryan can also play slot.
He's got talent. And he can play
he's shifty.
He can play anywhere. So it comes down to, as JB mentioned, him picking up that playbook quickly, or not even just pick up the whole playbook. Pick up what Jamarcus Shepard wants you to do.
Want them
quickly.
to, yeah.
And then get on the field, and then once he gets on the field, however he moves him, get open, ball.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be big. And if we're talking Ryan Williams real quick, highly talented kid. I'm gonna double back on this too. He's 17 as well. So I tell everybody, he should be like going for a senior year in high school this summer, getting ready for it. But instead, he's enrolled in college, getting ready for, to play football. He know what he signed up for. I'm not saying that, but keep that in mind, guys, that this is a guy that is fully committed to the Tide. And I'm saying that in a good way. I'm saying it isn't he is committed. He's ready to go. He wants to be the guy. He wants to come out and grind. So, hungry coaching staff, hungry players. Boom, somebody's got to eat, baby. Somebody's got to eat. Real quick, while we got everybody here real quick, guys, we in OT. I saw somebody else comment it real quick. Stephen M. Smith, break down these Bama hoops for us right now, man. You saw him at practice the other day. Let me hear that session real quick you saw.
I'm going to say this. Cliff down there banging. Cliff is down there banging in the post, man. You got Mark Sears driving, shooting threes, killing it. Stevens is killing it. Wrightsell is probably the best three-point shooter off the whole team. It's just smooth when he lets it go. Grant Nelson's playing well. And then even the recruits in here. I mean, oh, my goodness. Nate Oates has got a team that –
shout out Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller for the U.S. national team, U.S. national team made that. So shout out to Brandon Miller. But Nate Oates has got a group that will either get to the Final Four again or could possibly win it all this upcoming season. Nate Oates is a group that could possibly win it all. They needed Bama was a big man away from beating UConn. Imagine if Charles Bediako would have stayed. Bama with Charles Bediako, they could have beaten UConn. Now you got the big man with Cliff, and then you recruited another big man. Nate Oates has got the squad that can do it this year. He's got the squad.
He saw his
and I'll tell you, somebody else that's tapping into these Bama hoops is my boy JB. Y'all, so JB, man, you got any lowdown on the Tide hoops right now, man?
Man, not really, but I will say this team is built to win. This team is built to win. Nate went and got what he needed. Like you mentioned, Cliff. We got Mark Sears back, Grant Nelson back. Reisel, one of the best shooters. Chris Youngblood coming in, can shoot the ball.
Youngblood's a baller.
Man,
Youngblood's a baller. Yeah. Yes, he is.
So
and don't forget about Aiden. Ain't it what Aiden Holloway? Aiden Holloway.
He's smooth too.
He's a nice young player, smooth. Now, obviously, we got Mark Sears back. Understand that, but I still think he'll find his way on the court. And
have Holloway a little bit bigger?
I think he's. I mean, he might be a little taller, but I don't think he's much size bigger. I think he's still a smaller guard. Okay. I'm not 100% sure on that, JB. JB might know more than me on that one though.
Yeah, he's a little slim,
but yeah, guys. So we appreciate everybody coming by tonight. Real quick before we let everybody go, Marv, where can the people find you at, man? Socials, all that good stuff. And on Tuesday night, I know y'all got, real quick, breaking news. I don't know if it's breaking or not if you hadn't heard it, but they got the man coming on this Tuesday night, the Bama Standard. They're going to have former Alabama head coach Bill Curry will be the guest for the Bama Standard this coming week. So, Marv, tell the folks where they can find you at, check you out, and all that good stuff, man.
Well, you can find me on the Bama Standard on this channel every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, man. One of the best shows around. We're there. You can find me on Instagram, Constant45, or on Twitter, Constant451. Hey, reach out to me. I'm always available for questions. So,
hey, And
Thanks, Marv.
another thing, guys, Marv and Stephen M. Smith, they're the OG show on this channel, guys. I always show them love. These guys have built the channel and the foundation. We're new here. We're blessed to be in this spotlight, blessed to, have the show, blessed to have them on. Mr. Stephen M. Smith, where can the folks find you at, man, and check you out, brother?
You can find me at Coaching M. Smith on Twitter, at Coaching M. Smith. We're putting out all of the Bama football content. Tuesday, I'll be with my man Marv on the Bama Standard. We're going to have Bill Curry. I got so many good questions to ask him. The transition, how was he able to come in there after
White
the
helmets.
great Paul Bear Bryant?
And we need to hear about white helmets. I want to hear about that.
I'll ask about the white helmets, but I'll also ask him
that one from me.
I'll ask him that, but I also want to ask him when Paul Bear Bryant left and you had to go through Ray Perkins and then him, what was that adjustment like for Bill Curry? I definitely want to ask him that as well.
Okay.
That'll be a good answer there, too. That'll be a good one. JB, real quick, we closing out. Where can the people find you at, brother? What you up to?
You can find me on the Twitter X app at young_ENT_. Sports Talking with JB. That's the YouTube channel. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to that. I talk all things football, basketball, a little bit of baseball, whatever. And every Saturday, right here on Talk'n Bama with you, JT, and whoever else we have on the show, man. Shouts out to Marvin Constant, Stephen L. Smith for joining us too, man, for sure.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Sure. Appreciate having you guys on. Thank you guys. Time out. Marshall, real quick, where can the people find you at on your social medias and everything like that, brother?
I have a small Twitter page. I think it's Marshall Bean 19. I mostly repost stuff, but I'll try and get a more official page going soon.
So, guys, you can find me at I am Jay Glaze on X. You can find Roll Tide Nation on TikTok. We almost had 150,000 followers, guys. Make sure you join us there. We post clips of all types of stuff. I got my man Marv on there recently. I got to finish up. I'm working on something for you too, Marv. I'm working on something for you, man. A little edit for you, brother, man.
Seeing it.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna do a little something, man, and then the jersey giveaways, all the people. Kat, real quick, you're in here. I've already told Justin. Amber, I'm glad you're in here too. Justin's probably already told you. But there was like a huge slip up with the jerseys. They are on the way. The only thing is going to be probably mid-July now, but they're coming. They'll be here before the season. The Marvin Constant jerseys and the Bo Scarborough. And I got the Milrow coming for you, Kat, that won for our jersey winner. I have the names that commented on our last video. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to create a separate video, and we're going to post it on this YouTube channel, the Bama Standard, later on in the week, guys. I'm going to do a little video probably on Wednesday. We'll post a drawing. If you want to be entered in it again, or not just entered in it again, or you haven't entered yet, comment on this video. Mm-hmm. Any jersey you want, Bama jersey, any player. It could be a custom one if you want your name on the back. We'll put it on there. We'll put your country cousin all over the back. We gotta make Steve Brown one and put half. Put like 1 dash and a 2. But y'all have a good night, guys. We about to end the show. We don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, baby.
Thank y'all for joining. Roll Tide.
Roll
Tide.